Guys, this is not how I wanted to start today's video. Last we spoke, we were taking out everything from the old bathroom because it was super bad and super gross, and we thought that we had done everything and we were good to move on to the stage of putting it all back together, which is the really exciting part. But we thought the responsible thing to do would to be run our plan by a contractor friend of ours just to make sure we were headed in the right direction, and he suggested that in fact we should remove even more. There was a potential of some possibly problematic insulation in the floor, and the drywall that we did leave up, he said was likely not worth keeping either. So we're doing more. We're removing more. We still really haven't exited phase one yet. But on the upside of all of this, he believes that we can get those pipes lower and fully remove that weird step altogether, which means we don't have to build out more of the floor, which was my original plan. All of that is probably good news in the long run. So although we're not quite at the rebuilding phase yet, we're headed in the right direction, and for that, I'm really excited. So now that you're all caught up, let's jump right back into my extreme bathroom makeover. Welcome back to the series where I challenge myself to use thrifted materials and a love of all things retro to DIY our family home, from this farmhouse to that 70s house. Okay, I feel like this is gonna be wild for some of you guys, but come out our door into the garage. Vlog fam knows what's up with that, but we got the van in here. This wall actually is the wall to our bathroom. And I didn't think we had to open this wall, but turns out we do. So now you can literally see garage, bathroom, and in that little doorway is our bedroom. So I guess now we really could make the bathroom bigger. What do you think? Why not? And all that's coming out. Okay, so here's the thing. When designing a space entirely from scratch, and I'm talking about like picking the actual materials for the room, like the tile and the faucets, and not furniture stuff that can be swapped out, you want to make sure you do it right one time. You want to make sure it all matches and looks good, because it's not something that you can easily change out. And I find when you're looking at every little thing as an option, it's an overwhelming amount of options to choose from. And narrowing it down to any sort of cohesive scheme is next to impossible. So I find it easier to restrict myself in certain areas and be a little freer in other ones. So in my scenario, there's a few things that I know I'm not gonna have a lot of options with. One, I definitely wanna try my best to thrift a secondhand vanity. And two, I already know that I want my ceiling to be a wood tongue and groove that matches the rest of my home. So if I can find a vanity and I can confirm the color of the wood I want for my ceiling, that gives me a solid place to start that is non-negotiable, for which I can match my other things too, like my wall tile that I'm probably gonna have an infinite choice from. Are you keeping up with this train of thought? I hope so. So all that being said, we're gonna go look at vanities today. First stop was the Restore, where I found these wall sconces for literally $2, and they are straight off of my original mood board. This is a good option, but it's definitely just like the MDF with the fake wood veneer on the front, which I'm not sure. I feel like I can find something slightly better quality. It's also not that big. Me for scale. So yeah, it's not huge. But this is the color that I really like. So we'll keep that one in mind. And $127, not bad. I also did find a really good option on Marketplace. It's originally from IKEA though, so I think I'm gonna go to IKEA, see it in the showroom, see if I like it. And I also wanted to check out what else they had in stock for bathrooms. Morning guys. It is a rainy day, which is perfect for the way that I am literally feeling right now, which is not very good. Oh my gosh, you guys, I just laugh. If you saw what my bathroom looks like right now, I don't have one. We have come to a place where we've now basically removed every single wall that's not permanently there, and it just looks like I have one large garage. And at this point, any smart person might just say, seal up the door. You don't need this bathroom. Just enjoy having a larger garage, because I feel like we have now given ourselves so much more work. Because I said this to Austin the other day, I was like, we're not renovating a bathroom anymore. We are now building a bathroom basically from scratch. But I do think in the long run, this was the right move to make, because now we are for sure certain that any bad materials, moldy materials, unsafe materials are out of there. I don't know if I want to laugh or cry at this point, but it's okay. It's all gonna be okay. But in an effort to make myself feel better and feel like I'm actually getting somewhere, we're doing some marketplace pickups today. So good news is I've made a decision on vanities, plural. Oh my gosh. Okay, we have so much to talk about later. And doors, which is also something I don't think we've talked about yet. But I found a door on Marketplace for a really good price, so I'm gonna go pick that up now. I'll bring it back and then we'll chat. Because I want to have things in my hand to feel like I'm just going somewhere forward instead of just all this backwards that it's been feeling like recently. Wow!
That's nice.
That is nice, right?
Mm-hmm.
It so just fits, eh?
It's new, secondhand?
Yeah. Okay, so we have the door. Let's talk a bit about it really quickly before we install it. So, truthfully, originally I didn't even think we were gonna do a door at all, because it was part of the main bedroom, so it's already a private bathroom. There was no door originally. It's such a narrow doorway, I didn't even think we could add any more to that space. Upon reflection and reading your comments on the first video, which were very helpful, by the way, thank you all. There was discussion about keeping the bathroom warm and keeping the heat in. Ultimately, I think a door would be useful for that. And most importantly, at this point, because we're doing such major reno work that's attached to our bedroom, I really feel like I just want a way to separate those spaces right now, just for clarity's sake, so that everyone knows we're being safe about this. We are absolutely not parking any cars in that garage right now at all, because it is opened to the rest of the house as we currently work on this. Okay, got that out of the way. We're doing a door, and I want to do sliding door hardware because, again, it's such a small space. I think a swinging door is just going to make things even messier. I didn't want to do sliding door hardware. I don't think like a barn board style slider is the right feel for my house, so I found this product, and mind you, I've never used this before, so who knows, but if we end up liking this, I will 100% link it below. This is the closest thing I could find to like an invisible sliding door track, and in theory, I think it's super cool. Basically, you put the track on the back of the door, and then there's these circles that go on the wall, and that's what the door slides across. I'm a little dubious it's gonna work that well, because that seems cool and like it's defying some sort of like laws of physics somehow, but I don't know. Let's take this downstairs and we will figure it out together. Okay, the track is on the top of the door, and we got the sliding system up there. And I know I'm gonna have to do a serious patch and paint job of this whole wall once we're way down the road, but now we try and get the door up there. I think it worked. I think it worked. Okay, the door is up and it's looking so good, but there is one
problem we are left with, and I knew this was going to be a problem, so I'm not like caught off guard. It's just kind of another thing that we have to address, and that is the fact that there is a big hole underneath the door. The door is not long enough to fill the gap. Now you might ask, like, how did this happen? Did I mess up? Like, what went wrong here? The door originally was an 80-inch door. That's the shortest standard door that you can get. And the hardware that needed to go above the door opening to slide the door took up like a few inches. And I knew that was the case. You might ask me a better follow-up question, which is, why didn't you just buy a bigger door if you knew it needed to be taller? The reason being is I'm trying to do a lot of this stuff secondhand. I just love to use materials that already exist instead of buying new where I can, and the price was right, and this door is gorgeous otherwise, like minus the height. So we're gonna make it work, and I think I know how, and I don't think it's gonna be too hard. So to start, I picked up a piece of lumber from the hardware store that's a little bit less than this opening because we do want it a bit higher than the floor so it doesn't scrape along the floor, and I've cut it down to be as wide as this door. Now the piece of lumber is not as thick as the door, so I'm gonna double them up. I've cut 2 pieces and I'm gluing them together with just some wood glue and clamping them tight with some tape. I did go in after and put some very heavy things on it, so it's not just the tape that's holding this together while it dries. So here is my now one thick piece of board, and it's just going to attach to the bottom here. And I know it doesn't match right now, but I'm still yet to stain and seal this entire door, which will happen much closer to the end of this journey when we've decided on wood tones and all that good stuff. And I think once that's done, it's gonna blend in just fine, and you won't really think about it as being a separate piece. Okay, this is the bottom of the door, and this is how I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna take some painter's tape, and luckily the painter's tape is pretty much exactly the width of the door. I'm gonna line it up to the very top there. I'm gonna use these dowel pegs to join the 2 pieces together, of course with some wood glue as well. So I need to make sure that wherever I drill the holes here in the door for the dowel pegs is the exact matching opposite to where the holes are on the bottom. I'm gonna take a push pin, like a regular old push pin, and use this to mark through the tape onto the wood. I'm also totally inventing this method, so if it works, you'll heard it here maybe first. Non-sticky side out when I made the marks, which means if this piece was lining up with the door, it would be like that, you know, stuck up to the door. Wherever the pinholes are sticking through is where I'm gonna now make a matching pinhole into this piece of wood. Okay, we've got the matching drill bit to the sides of the dowel pegs, and okay, nice. Whole bunch of wood glue and the dowels in the bottom piece. Start with lining up the middle one. What's going on?
Just repairing a little bit of this rot. Pretty.
Oh my gosh, that's
pretty rotted.
That's our house.
So we gotta fix this first before we do the bathroom, because then if this leaks into the bathroom, then we start over.
Did we know about this before?
I had an idea. I didn't think it'd be this bad.
What are you doing in there?
So right now there's a beam. There's a big beam that goes all the way across here to hold this, which is the floor. And that beam is totally rotted. If you come over here, I can show you. See, this is the beam that holds all these floor joists here. I don't know how this is still standing. It's one of the 7 wonders of the world.
I don't even need this. That's how terrible this is. Oh.
Totally rotted.
Like, that's our house. Falling apart.
It was our house. It's now termites' house. You look good on that ladder though.
I don't know where we go from here. I'm trying to direct Austin to make this like an emotional moment, and
it's like a tree fort.
all that's happening is just memes.
with the crowbar. Is that how you break in?
I don't know. Where's the door? Is this the door?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, so it started with the roof, or I guess the ceiling of what would have been the bathroom, right?
This is the bathroom.
It was the bathroom. And this is how we realized there was leakages up there, right? And it was rotting?
Yeah, it was leaking here, so then we started pulling away the plywood, and then you pull away more and more wood and keep finding more and more rot. I'm hoping we're at the end of it.
This was obviously going to be the ceiling of the bathroom, but what it also is the floor of what was the patio upstairs that I did that makeover on. Should we go look at that?
Let's go check out the rot.
It's not funny.
Why am I having such a good time then?
I don't know. This is the flooring.
Okay, see, look at this.
Rot. So obviously there was like railing all here. My planter boxes were right there. And then what's going on with this wall? Is this wall all right, or we're not sure about
I'm not
this
sure
either?
yet, but if I look underneath, you can see the bottom 2x4 that holds it all is totally rotted. So, but I don't know. I took a little peek here, and it looks okay. But I got to pull this plywood off of here to check. Maybe I could just quickly slip another 2x4 under there to fix it up. Or maybe this whole wall's got to come down.
So where does that leave us now? Honestly, I feel like this whole project just very quickly spiraled into like one small problem to a slightly bigger problem. And all of a sudden it's like this whole kind of garage roof area is rotted and needs to be entirely redone. And frankly, I think both of us are just feeling overwhelmed. There is a limit to what I feel capable of and where my DIY skills end, and I feel like we've hit it. And as much as we try and be positive and excited for the process and are obviously so grateful to have this life where we can do this, right now we're gonna need a minute. We are certainly going to have to bring in some sort of outside expertise here, because as much as I'm so excited about this bathroom, and when we do get to it, guys, just know this is gonna be the greatest comeback moment of all time. The smart thing for us to do here is to just take a pause, center ourselves, and fix the garage properly. That is where I'm gonna have to leave this story for right now. There's really nothing more to say than you cannot plan life, and life just takes the route it wants to take, whether you're ready or not. But I'm gonna make the best of it, and in the meantime, I think we should talk about some exciting things. Although they're not kind of seeing, I have a dog here on me. Although they're not seeing potential until who knows when yet, I have made some exciting purchases and choices for the bathroom. Let's talk about it. So remember how I talked about vanities, plural, earlier in the video? Okay, here's where that's coming back around. I have made a decision to go ahead and do 2 different vanities in this bathroom. Hear me out. First one is going to be a smaller one that's just purely a sink station. And that gets around kind of a problem we were experiencing where it was a tight space to get into the toilet, where the shower wanted to be and all that. And I kind of realized, I don't know about you guys, but the time that I spend in front of a mirror at a vanity, the time that overlaps with me needing to use the sink is actually very small. Like, I use the sink for face washing and teeth brushing, and that's about it. And then I use the vanity and the counter space for so many other things like makeup, hair, all that stuff. And I don't need a sink for that. So what's a better use of the space is to take that long wall at the back and do a closed-in shower and a separate vanity that doesn't have a sink, that's literally just counter space and a gorgeous mirror. I'm feeling really good and excited about this plan. So this helped inform my decision of going ahead with that marketplace vanity, because it's from IKEA originally, meaning I'm able to get a second matching set to it also from IKEA in the wider size. That way both my vanities match and it's gonna look cohesive and beautiful. Once I had the vanity situation sorted, I could then go tile shopping. I think we're leaning into a darker brown now based on the vanity, and I found 2 that I think are good options, although neither of them are quite right. We have a solid kind of medium brown and a darker brown that has kind of like a faded edge to it. I would love a matte option, but if this is the best I can do, this isn't bad. But at the end of the day, shopping for new things like that just truly does not get me excited as the hunt for secondhand or special pieces. So I headed to Marketplace, and you guys are not gonna believe what I found. Remember how I talked about wanting to do like a honey onyx somewhere in the bathroom? Originally I thought the back of the shower. Well, I found this. An entire box of this honey onyx little cube tiles. It is such a gorgeous, warm, rich luxe tile. And I think what I'm gonna use this for is a DIY countertop for that second vanity that doesn't have a sink. And while also on Marketplace, this is why I love secondhand shopping, because you find the most interesting things that you might never have considered an option until you started looking. And I found these, an entire box of these cork floor tiles. This might be a little divisive, but it's like a burl texture made of cork. And I just think it's so cool. I love how it's like a different dimensional texture while also not being too much, and I think it works with the onyx tile. Then at the Restore, I found those globe milk glass wall pendants. They were like $2 each, and I just feel like the circle motif is really working for this house. So I say let's keep going with that. I'm loving how this is all being pulled together. So this is where I'm gonna leave you. I am very excited about kind of the physical mood board that I'm starting to piece together for this bathroom. And all I have to say is it's happening and it's coming, although I don't know when because we have a big project to tackle first, probably offline because it's not that exciting. All right guys, wish me luck. Leave me any feedback because I really appreciated it on the first one, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Okay, bathroom.
It has been a minute since I've been in here.
We have to do something about those soap bottles.
But I think I trust Becky and Rochelle.
That's a thing. That's a thought.
Do we dare in the bathroom? A scandalous hippo moment?